Oh hey, it's you again. Thanks for stopping by. Beans and I were just taking a look at all your still life drawings from last week. Those of you who posted it to Google Classroom, awesome. We love seeing that. Beans was really impressed, and sometimes she can be a pretty hard critic. Speaking of Beans the cat, I was thinking, this week how about we go ahead and draw our animals? If you have a pet at home, maybe it's a dog or a cat, it could be even a goldfish. If you don't have pictures of your animals at home, I'll provide some online. Now, what do you go ahead and say we get started?
Step 1, take a picture of your pet. Now, if you don't have a pet at home, you could use a picture of your favorite animal. If you already have a photograph of your pet, perfect, because taking a photo of your animal can always be kind of difficult.
That's it. You're a lion, Beans. You're a tiger. Perfect.
Step 2, find your favorite place to draw, get your paper and pencil, and get ready to draw. Know that you could always use computer paper, and whatever pencil you have is perfect. Now, to begin this drawing, we're going to start off with what's called a gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is a lot like a sketch. You're going to be moving your hand quite quickly. You're going to be drawing fast. And in this case, we're just beginning the shapes. Know that mistakes are okay. We're going to begin with the face. Moving my hand quickly to draw the circle of the face of your animal. Right underneath this, we're going to create the chest and draw another circle about the same size. This might be different for your animal, and if I'm moving too quickly, know that you can always pause the video. The next section is going to move slightly over to the right. Now you're going to notice in the photo of Beans, the bottom is a little bit larger, so I'm going to make this circle quite a bit larger than the other two. My hand is drawing very lightly, it's loose. That's how we begin a gesture drawing. Once we're finished with the basic gesture drawing, we're going to start adding details. Now if you're drawing a fish, this might be the fins. If you're drawing a bird, that would probably be the wings. If you're drawing Beans along with me, well, that's going to start off with the ears. Just by drawing a basic shape for the ears. Now connecting these circles so Beans doesn't look too much like a snowman anymore. Kind of rounding things out just a bit. Make sure that you are looking at your reference photo if you're drawing your own animal. Check wherever you are. Is this the direction of that line that you're creating? I'm going to move to the other side. Also looking at my reference photo about half the time that I'm creating this drawing. Looking back and forth. Gonna add the feet, getting all the little details added here. You're gonna start noticing that this is looking a lot more like an actual cat. As you're moving along, I noticed in my photograph, I don't have a tail, but I'd really like it if I could see a tail in front of Beans. So I'm gonna kind of just imagine this. It's always okay to just make things up. It's a drawing. So I'm gonna try a few different lines and see which one I like. I think I like this one a little bit better than the first two. So I'm gonna take my eraser, get rid of those other two so we don't get ourselves confused. And then create this line into a shape. So I'm going to come back to that tail and just add another line following around the edge. Try not to make it too thick or thin. In this case, we can start erasing some of those circles, kind of cleaning everything up so it's not so busy. That way we have more of an outline. That's why it's always important to draw lightly when you begin. Now to make our drawing a little bit more realistic, we're going to want to start thinking about texture. So if you're drawing a dog or a cat, maybe you're going to want to start adding little tufts of fur. Feel free to exaggerate this. Typically I use a bit of a zigzag line to show where the fur is kind of curving over the edge of the outline of the body. Where does the direction of the fur change? Now that our drawing is starting to become a little bit more complete, this means you can start pressing harder with your pencil. Still, you're not going to want to press so hard that you would be able to erase that line. This gives us a chance to really define everything that we are creating. The tufts of fur, the feet, We still have yet to draw the face for our animal. Before I get there, I'm going to define the chin a little bit. I'm also going to start looking at the patterns of the animal. So if you're drawing a dog, does he have spots? If you're drawing your bird, are there different sections where the colors are separate? In this case, Beans has a bit of a random pattern of orange and white. I'm going to just very lightly trace this out, so when I do, or if I have the desire to color this in later, then I'll know where everything goes. Next, we're going to draw the face. So when you're drawing the face of your pet, it does help to decide, is your pet looking to the side? Is it looking up or down? And you're going to want to try to create that direction with a cross. In the center, it should be the nose. For Beans the cat, we're going to draw an upside down triangle. Maybe a little bridge to the nose. And those eyes. Eyes can be difficult. Just start off with a bit of an oval shape. This might take you a few tries. Draw lightly so you know you can erase. In this case, you're going to want to really study the face of your animal. I'm also going to draw an upside down M for the line of the mouth. These eyes might need a little work. I'm going to be patient with myself and just lightly layer and take my time on the eyes. Try my best to really define that shape. Again, I'm looking at the patterns on the face. This might look a little strange, but when we add color, it'll make a little bit more sense. Beans has some stripes. I'm going to lightly put those in, but later on I'll come back with a color pencil and probably add some more stripes as well. Thinking about adding a little bit more texture where it's necessary. And she does have a striped tail, so I'm going to just very lightly add those stripes in the tail. I'm also going to think about adding whiskers if you're drawing a dog or a cat. Very lightly, be confident with those. Just draw a quick line. Finally, I'm just kind of looking over my drawings, seeing if there's anything else I can add. Lastly, consider adding color. You could use color pencils, you could use color markers, you could even use pastels. Whichever medium you're using, consider blending. You're going to want to layer these colors. Well, that's it for our animal drawing. I cannot wait to see what everybody posts at Google Classroom. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful week.